Hi, and welcome to Round Robin. I am Dacia Scott with the City of Hampton, and I am here today with Shaeron King and Allie Bernard, and they are here to talk about the Special Olympics programs here in Hampton. So I will take it away to Shaeron first, who will tell you a little bit more about herself and what you do here in Hampton.
I am the Therapeutic Recreation Coordinator for the City of Hampton's Department of Parks, Recreation, and Leisure Services. And I feel like I have two primary roles: to provide recreation programs for individuals with disabilities and also to ensure that they have access to programs in Hampton and regionally.
Oh, awesome. All right, and go ahead, Allie.
Yeah, my name's Allie Barnard, and I'm the Peninsula Region Director, and I am the Region Director for the Hampton area in addition to Newport News, Williamsburg, headed up to the Richmond. I am the person that works with Shaeron to help get things going in addition to other volunteers in other areas. I work with our community, traditional and unified programs, and I work with our schools to add inclusive programs in our school using grant money so I can walk in and hopefully allow them to start things without having to fundraise.
Exactly, expand programs.
Yes.
I love it, I love it. So as you work with the therapeutic programming in Hampton and Parks and Recreation, so we're talking about Special Olympics, and that's always near and dear to folks' heart. What are the programming that is offered for Special Olympics?
Okay, we have quite a few sports that we engage in here in Hampton. Right now, we are doing traditional bowling. In the fall, we had unified bowling, which included partners who are individuals without disabilities, and then our athletes partner up to bowl together. But right now, we are just doing individual traditional bowling. We are also doing basketball, and we will be starting track and field in the spring.
In the spring. Okay,
Yes.
so how can one become an athlete for Special Olympics in these programs?
Okay, so there are two opportunities. One, to also point out young athletes, that's ages 2 to 7, and so they're not quite into the competitive where you can earn a medal or anything like that, but that's to get them excited and get into Special Olympics. So that's ages 2 to 7, and Hampton offered a young athletes, I would think it was in the fall,
okay,
and we're hoping to offer another in the spring. But generally for competitive events, 8 and up.
8 and up. Okay.
8 and up, and you should have an intellectual disability. And if you don't have an intellectual disability, you can be a partner.
Okay.
So those are the options. And then also to participate, there is a medical form that must be completed. There is a portion that parent, guardian, caregiver can complete, and then a nurse practitioner or a doctor needs to complete the other portion of the form. And it is good for 3 years.
And for 3 years?
3 years.
Okay, so you can be a seasoned athlete by the time you're done with it.
Yes.
And it can continue on. Great. And so as we move into this new season going on, as you talk about the Special Olympics program, how can the community support all of the programs either here in Hampton or regionally?
Absolutely. So we have opportunities for individuals to donate online or in person at our basketball events, or sports events, and then we have fundraisers like the Polar Plunge coming up, the Tip-Off, the law enforcement torch run. So we have things going on all year round, constantly for people to be involved in, and that's really where we can showcase our athletes and let them get in front of the community and kind of say, hey, this is who you're fundraising for, this is where the money's going. We are always looking for schools to also fundraise, and so if they compete in or sign up for the Polar Plunge, they would be able to keep 50% of that if they're a unified school. So we are really trying to branch out and make sure everybody has an opportunity in addition to just signing up online and donating straight to Area 30.
I see. So Area 30 is the actual Hampton's designation.
Yes.
So that's really good to know. So anytime you have these larger events, if you wanted to specifically do something for Hampton, that's what you would do.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Anytime you see a fundraising page or you're online and you want that money to make sure it goes to the Hampton bank account and they can use it to buy new uniforms and practice facilities and things like that, you want to make sure you put Area 30 Hampton, and that makes Shaeron would get that, and she can put it in the balance sheet, and we can kind of go from there.
All right. So as we get into the next season, of course, 2024 just began, so I'm sure there's a bunch of events that are coming up, and I know you mentioned a few of them, but what's the next big one that's coming up that you would like to help support?
We have the Tidewater Tip-Off, which is coming up Sunday, February 4th at Boo Williams Sportsplex, just down the road. That is, I think we're on our 9th annual Tidewater Tip-Off regional basketball tournament, meaning we will have athletes not from just Hampton, but all around the region coming to compete. And to advance to our state games, which is in Richmond the last weekend of February, you have to come and compete in a regional event, meaning you can't just show up and say I've been practicing. We want our athletes to continue to have goals and meet those goals, try to compete to be the best that they can, and then they'll be ready for state. And after that, we have USA games, and after that we have national games, and that's the national games, and then there's world games, which is coming up in Berlin. Wow. So our athletes have an opportunity to travel and kind of make a name for themselves all around the world.
And is this part where they actually get medals as well?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. That's where we're competing with for the medals. Absolutely. And they get amazing. And I think a lot of the community doesn't know that that's an opportunity that our athletes are always striving for.
Yes.
But it's amazing to hear about all the medals and where they keep them and how many they have. Our athletes know exactly how many gold, silvers, and bronzes they have at home, and it's amazing to hear about.
And I'm sure it's not just about the athletes participating in the events. It's about the support and having the community come out and show the support to the athletes as well. So I think it's great that we're doing this here in Hampton, and we continue the programs as well. Is there anything else that you wanted to share about programming in Hampton for special needs or therapeutic recreation or even just Special Olympics?
Just wanted to share, she mentioned the Tidewater Tip-Off, so I thought it was important to share that Hampton will have 4 teams there and 1 person participating in skills. So we have 3 half-court teams, 1 full-court team, and then we have an athlete she's going to demonstrate her skills.
I love it.
And so that is a great, and I want to point out, I don't think people realize that going to these events is a great family event. It is also, they're free. And so
Very true.
they're free. And it's just, a way to come out and support the athletes. So we have the Tidewater Tip-Off, in a couple weeks, but also every April, Hampton does its own regional track meet, and Newport News usually comes out to compete with us. There may be other teams that come out and compete with us. And right now we're at Bethel, and the date for that is April 20th. If that's a Sunday, I believe. If that's a Saturday. If that's a Saturday, it's April 20th. And, in the future, when Darling is ready, that's normally where we have that regional track meet. So that's another way to support. And, if you want to coach, if you want to chaperone, we're always looking for people to help us with Special Olympics. And to give you a sense, people probably want to know how many people participate. We're usually 25 athletes and above for all of our sports.
We're growing.
Yeah,
and growing.
We're definitely growing.
Absolutely.
So it's usually at least 25 athletes participating from that Hampton side.
And we definitely want to keep it growing as well, because we want to encourage our athletes to go to get the gold.
Yes. And in addition to the coaching, the volunteer opportunities we have opportunities to be on our council, leadership positions. So if somebody is thinking I don't want to get out there and coach, but I'd be a good treasurer, or somebody that would be a good fundraising person for us to sign up. We're constantly looking for individuals to donate their time and their what they're really good at.
Right.
And a lot of times we don't run into those people. They have to come to us. Yes.
Well, where can they come to you all and get that information?
I love that. So the Tidewater Tip-Off's coming up. We have a lot of volunteer opportunities right now still available to scorekeep, officiate, check in, things like that. So we have SpecialOlympicsVA.org, and then you'll go find your local program, and with your location settings on, it'll pop up and say Hampton's right there, and that's where you're going to click, and you'll see her information, and you'll just email her, hey, I'm interested in getting involved, and we will definitely make sure we find a spot that you're going to enjoy being in.
Awesome. And from the Parks and Recreation side, do you just visit hampton.gov/parks, and then you'll be able to find things there? Is there any other areas that you would prefer people to visit to learn more about your programs?
That's the best place, and you should be able to click on therapeutic recreation also.
Awesome.
And then it will, list our camps and all of our programs.
Awesome. Well, it has been a unique pleasure to have you both on today. I appreciate you coming on, Shaeron and Allie. And that's the end of our show. Thank you for joining Round Robin, and we'll see you next time.